More than 400,000 Kentuckians could lose their health insurance if Medicaid officials do not approve Governor Matt Bevin's proposal to overhaul Medicaid. We're taking a look at his plans coming up.
The Attorney General has called the governor's actions on two state boards unprecedented. We may find out if he plans to take action coming up.
A lot of heavy downpours, a lot of lightning right now, and here come more storms, one after another. Flash flooding and damaging winds will be our main players. We're going to get into that further detail coming up.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon from WKYT News. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. Strong and severe storms are rolling through the bluegrass again this midday, and some of them producing strong winds, heavy rain, and lightning strikes.
We're going to keep a watch on this throughout this afternoon. Take a look at this video from Winchester Road in Lexington this morning. You can see it was really coming down at one point, and we are expected to get another shot of severe weather later this afternoon. These rounds of storms keeping us under a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. And here's meteorologist Micah Harris tracking the threat on the First Alert Defender Network.
We've really had two cells that have been very stout. No severe weather just yet, but we will have the opportunity of actually seeing that later on this afternoon. Now, right now, let's zoom right into it, and let me show you where I'm expecting that cell to continue to track on. Some heavy downpours just to the north of this region, but this is a very strong cell. Just moved through Beattyville, Boonville, getting in on the action. Just passed through Campton. Campton's still getting some rain, but the heaviest part is now past you. Jackson is no doubt about it next in line. You will feel that here in just about 15 minutes. The actual brunt of it, a lot of lightning, obviously, and also some very heavy downpours. Buckhorn, you'll be next in line, too, along with Dice Community. We had a little bit this morning, but here comes a lot of it, okay? It's going to be sliding on through. That has left us with a flash flood warning in Irvin until 2:30, so that's going to be there in Estill County. The bad part about this is we have plenty more to go. We'll get a bit of a break in the action. We do have a sliver of rain making its way through the Frankfort area and then work your way down into Lawrenceburg, about to roll through there, and then it's about to head into the bluegrass. But then we'll get a bit of a break and then look at the action back toward the north into northern portions of Illinois. It's heading our direction too. That will give us the opportunity for some severe storms. I'm going to break down the timing on that coming up.
All right, we'll see you then. And lightning strikes have been reported in several areas of central Kentucky today.
Firefighters in Jessamine County say the courthouse was hit, but luckily no fires have been reported. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner is live in Nicholasville with the very latest. She continues our top story team coverage at noon.
Good afternoon. The county judge says it was a sobering experience after lightning apparently struck the courthouse roof. Fire crews pulled out of here just moments ago. According to the Nicholasville Fire Department Battalion Chief, lightning struck the roof on the north end of the courthouse just below the clock. The strike set off alarms inside the building. Fire crews arrived to make sure the historic building hadn't caught fire. They checked everywhere, but luckily the only damage found is a broken window. Many inside saying their ears were ringing when lightning hit. We're told that the strike sounded like an explosion, and everyone inside saying they're just thankful everyone is okay. Live in Jessamine County, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Caitlin, thank you. The courthouse is not without power, but computers are down there. There are also reports of other businesses in the area without power.
Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin is proposing an overhaul of the state's expanded Medicaid program, and it is expected to affect 400,000 Kentuckians. The plan still needs the approval of the federal government, but Governor Bevin says it will save taxpayers in the Commonwealth billions of dollars. WKYT's Mark Barber is in Frankfort to outline Bevin's plan.
Governor Matt Bevin is submitting a Medicaid waiver that would drastically change how the program works in Kentucky. He says it's important to note that no one would lose their coverage. However, people will lose their vision and dental benefits. People will also be required to start paying monthly premiums. Bevin wants to overhaul Medicaid because he says the Medicaid expansion to include 400,000 uninsured people has been costing taxpayers millions of dollars. While the state will not make money off of the premiums included in this proposed program, the governor says the program would help educate people, and that will lead to healthier people. So in the long run, he thinks a program would save the state millions. If Medicaid officials approve the plan, it will apply to all the able-bodied adults on Medicaid who fall between 34% to 138% of the poverty level. While they would lose their dental and vision benefits, they could win them back through a rewards program that would offer courses to help people quit smoking, lose weight, and become financially literate. It all hinges on Medicaid officials. If they don't approve the Medicaid waiver, Bevin says the expansion of Medicaid will no longer cover more than 400,000 Kentuckians.
I know they could do this. I know that we're asking for nothing that has not been done in other instances. I know there is no good reason not to do it, and so I am confident.
You now have the opportunity to tell state officials what you think of the proposal. They are starting a 30-day comment period today. After that, the waiver will be sent to Medicaid officials, and if it is approved, Bevin thinks it could start statewide September 30th. In Frankfort, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you very much. A lot to digest in that proposal. We have just uploaded the governor's complete draft of the Kentucky health waiver, and you can read it for yourself right now on WKYT.com.
Kentucky Attorney General Andy Beshear has scheduled a news conference of his own this afternoon, and it could refuel the battle between the state's top elected officials. He's expected to talk about Governor Bevin's recent dissolution of the University of Louisville Board of Trustees and the Kentucky Retirement Board. WKYT's Sean Moody is live in Frankfort now with a preview of today's announcement.
Hey there, Barbara. Attorney General Andy Beshear announced this news conference yesterday. A spokesperson said it would be to discuss the overhaul of those two boards. There's no word yet on exactly what he'll say today, but he has called the governor's actions unprecedented. This is all about Governor Matt Bevin's actions pertaining to two boards of trustees, the Kentucky Retirement Systems Board and the University of Louisville Board. In April, Bevin removed Retirement Systems Board Chairman Thomas Elliott by executive order and replaced him with William Smith. Beshear said Bevin didn't have the authority to do that and said Smith wasn't experienced enough. Last week, Bevin abolished the board altogether and announced he was creating a new one, including all the board members except Elliott and 4 new ones. Also last week, Bevin announced he would restructure the University of Louisville board. He said the current board was dysfunctional and the university needed a fresh start. U of L President James Ramsey will resign as well. Now, Attorney General Andy Beshear has called the actions unprecedented. Bevin has said he has the absolute authority to do it. Now, coming up in a news conference at 1 o'clock this afternoon, we may find out if Beshear plans to take any action, and it wouldn't be the first time. Beshear has already sued Bevin over cuts to higher education. Live at the Capitol, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Sean, thank you, and we will live stream that news conference online at 1 o'clock on WKYT.com. A Kentucky accountant who spent most of 6 years roaming the Appalachian Trail as a fugitive will find out how many years he'll spend behind bars this afternoon. James Hammis is scheduled to be sentenced in a federal court in Cincinnati. Last year, he pleaded guilty to wire fraud. The judge on the case says she's weighing multiple factors, including the $8.7 million Hammis embezzled, as well as his flight to avoid prosecution. Prosecutors want Hammis to get 7 years. Hammis's attorneys are asking for 3.
A busy Lexington Road is back open this midday after construction crews hit a gas line overnight. Both directions of traffic on South Broadway from Dakota Court to Virginia Avenue were closed for several hours. It caused backups during the morning commute, and it forced drivers to look for alternate routes. The road was shut down around 3 o'clock this morning when crews hit the gas line while replacing sewer lines. Well, a popular Chinese restaurant near the UK campus is temporarily shut down.
Now, the Fayette County Health Department hasn't revealed why Red Bang Bang on West Maxwell was closed. But in recent days, a Facebook post has gone viral claiming someone found a dead mouse in the food. Restaurant managers say the customer claimed to have found the mouse after placing an order and leaving the store. They say that customer is now asking for $25,000. Well, just a week after it opened, a new roller coaster at Dollywood is closed until further notice. Lightning Rod is the world's fastest wooden coaster, reaching a top speed of 73 miles per hour. The manufacturer of the $22 million ride is now working to replace a mechanical part that's built into the coaster. A spokesperson for the park says a picture of smoke coming from Lightning Rod that's made its way around social media this week is unrelated to the recall.
All right, working on the coaster at Dollywood. Well, Donald Trump is unloading on Hillary Clinton as she travels to Washington to try to unite the Democratic Party. We'll have the latest from the campaign trail. It's coming up on Kentucky's #1 Midday News.
Also ahead, Late Late Show host James Corden's next carpool karaoke passenger is taking him all the way to the White House. We'll explain next on WKYT. Welcome back to WKYT News at noon. A day after Hillary Clinton attacked Donald Trump's business skills, the Republican candidate for president is hitting back at his Democratic rival in a speech of his own.
Kenneth Craig is outside the Trump event in New York City.
Donald Trump sounded off on Hillary Clinton's record during her term as Secretary of State.
No Secretary of State has been more wrong, more often, and in more places than Hillary Clinton.
The presumptive Republican nominee claimed Clinton's foreign policy helped lead to the creation of the Islamic State.
ISIS threatens us today because of the decisions Hillary Clinton has made.
The speech comes a day after Clinton challenged the billionaire's business skills.
He's written a lot of books about business. They all seem to end at chapter 11.
The war of words come as Trump's campaign tries to raise more money. The candidate sent his first email on behalf of his campaign asking for donations. The appeal for donations came after the latest numbers show Clinton's campaign has more than $40 million in the bank compared to Trump's with just over $1 million. Trump also announced he hired more staff as he expands his campaign to focus on the general election.
Good morning, Madam Secretary. Good morning.
Clinton met with House Democrats on Capitol Hill Wednesday morning for the first time since becoming her party's presumptive nominee.
This was a tour de force that she presented to us there in terms of vision and values.
Later today, she will outline her economic policies in a speech in Raleigh, North Carolina. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
And Marco Rubio has announced he is seeking re-election to the Senate from Florida. The Republican had pledged to return to private life in the Sunshine State if his presidential bid failed, but he has changed his mind as the Republicans try to hold on to their majority in the U.S. Senate. House Republicans unveiled a new proposal to repeal and replace President Obama's health care law. The plan released by Speaker Paul Ryan this morning relies on individual tax credits to allow people to buy coverage from private insurers, and it includes medical liability reform and expanding access to health savings accounts. It is part of Ryan's Better Way agenda, which is intended to show how the GOP would govern with a Republican in the White House. One of the world's top golfers says he will not be competing at the Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro because of concerns about the Zika virus.
In a statement, Rory McIlroy says his and his family's health comes before anything else. The four-time major winner also said that even though the risk of infection from the Zika virus is considered low, it's a risk he is unwilling to take. Zika has been linked to severe birth defects and possible neurological problems in adults. James Corden is set to take a spin with the First Lady. Michelle Obama debuted on Snapchat along with the Late Late Show host to announce that she will be his next passenger in the popular carpool karaoke segment. CBS says the segment with Mrs. Obama was filmed yesterday, but did not say exactly when it would air.
3 years ago today, a Madison County teenager disappeared without a trace, but her family and Kentucky State Police haven't given up hope. The latest on the search for Brooklyn Farthing coming up.
Storms out and about early this afternoon, and some of them are very strong. Some of them are relatively weak, but nonetheless, there is rain outside for virtually all locations except for the southern half. Southern half, you might be left out with some of the heavy rainfall if you are needing it, because most of this is actually toward eastern Kentucky, and now the brunt of it rolled through Jackson. It's actually, believe it or not, I know you see a lot of those lightning strikes, but it's actually a little bit less of intensity as it was just about 30 minutes to an hour ago. Put a storm track on. This will take it toward the Noble region here in just about 12:30, so we have about another 15 minutes or so. Hindman is going to be actually off toward that 1 o'clock hour. Hindman, Pippa Passes, inches, more like 115, and it continues to track down toward the south and southeast. So Weeksbury, you'll be next in line around about 120, 125. And we span out because we still have a couple more showers, a couple more rumbles of thunder. But spanning out, you're going to get a big long break. A lot of that falling apart right through there. And the actual momentum of this will continue to carry it down toward the southeast. I will tell you this, though. You'll get a big long break. There will still be a chance at some storms later on today. But I'm actually seeing the severe weather possibility actually decreasing for most in toward the rest of the afternoon. When we go overnight and into tomorrow, that's your best bet overnight and into tomorrow for far, far northern Kentucky and into places like southern Ohio, because that's where these storms could start barreling on through. So the severe threat is still there. Remember, this is no widespread severe weather. We have never said that, and I still don't expect that for tomorrow either. But you can get some isolated severe cells. Most of this is going to be your run-of-the-mill thunderstorms, a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy downpours, and also some gusty winds here and there. But the rounds of storm are still with us for today. Let me take you hour by hour, and you can see a lot of that still pushing on out. South and down toward the southwest and toward the Cumberland region. Not a great chance of rain the rest of the day, but it's still a couple of rumbles are possible. Look at those cells rolling on through. It looks like development later on this afternoon as some more cells push on through. Remember, an isolated severe threat, definitely no widespread, and no type of outbreak type of situation. They're going to have a damaging wind outbreak, that's for sure, just north of us into Ohio, Indiana, and back toward Illinois. But for us, it's just isolated, guys, and that's going to be the case for tomorrow. Heavy downpours, flash flooding, and an isolated chance of damaging winds will be our threat. Friday and Saturday look much better. A little warmer, but much better.
We could use it after what we're having the next couple of days. Thank you, Micah.
Thank you.
We'll be back on WKYT News with sports, and UK coach works the phones.
Well, a former Wildcat is trying to move up the draft board. Dave Baker's next with sports.
As we head to break, let's check stocks this afternoon. The major market indicators are pointing upward at midday.
This is Media Day for the 2016 NBA Draft. Lee K. Howard, Steve Moss are in New York City. They'll begin their reports on WKYT News at 4. And no doubt, the Kentucky coach and his draftees will be the center of attention. John Calipari said yesterday he's had 18 freshmen leave after 1 year. 9 have gone into the NBA and scored more points than they did in college. Cal said teams like that, and that's one of the reasons he believes fans will want to watch and players will want to play with Tyler Ulis.
Every player in that league is going to want to play with Tyler Ulis because they'll get the ball more. Oh, yeah, they'll get the ball more. He will pick up and disrupt defensively. If he's your second unit point guard, you got a really, really good team. But they're going to look at him and say, too small, I can't. I said that. My whole career, I said, I'm not playing with small point guards. You know what? I played with him, and last year and the year before, he was a big reason for us to win however many 60-some games that we won over that period of time.
Ulis, who wears number 3 in honor of Philly star Allen Iverson, worked out for the Sixers yesterday, along with that guy, LSU's Ben Simmons, who's reportedly been told by the team that they'll make him the overall #1 pick. It's the only workout that Simmons has done leading up to the draft. In addition to the first pick, Philly sits at number 24 and 26 in the first round, which could be a perfect spot for one Tyler Ulis. And a variety of troubles that have plagued former UK coach Billy Gillispie. They aren't behind him just yet. According to the Dallas Morning News, the National Junior College Athletic Association has ruled that Gillispie used an ineligible player at Ranger Junior College, where he coached this year, and that would mean his team would have to forfeit all 31 of its wins. The school is appealing. Ranger finished 4th in the National Junior College tournament. And if you talked to the UK ticket office today, you may have heard a familiar voice. Coach Mark Stoops. He was working the phones for a couple of hours, trying to drum up support for the 2016 season. This was the first time Stoops had done anything like this, and because of that, UK kept the publicity low key. No word on whether anyone got upgraded with their tickets. Tonight on the Big Blue Insider with Dick Gabriel, former Wildcat Rex Chapman with his thoughts on tomorrow night's draft. More from John Calipari on what lies ahead from his players. All that's coming your way at 6 on 630 WLAP. And again, our guys begin their reports from New York City, 4 o'clock this afternoon, as we get you set. Follow the Cats and the NBA draft tomorrow night, guys. But for now, that's a look at sports on this Wednesday.
All right. As always, Dave, thank you very much. We appreciate it, and we're back in a moment.
There's more to come in our next half hour of WKYT News at noon.
4 people are recovering after being hit by lightning from severe storms in Richmond.
I'm Phil Pendleton in Pulaski County. At 12:30, police are continuing to search for the driver of a car that may have struck and killed a 10-year-old boy.
Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $363 million, and tonight's Powerball jackpot is $184 million.